All right. Last message of the day. I ain't coming back on live at all today. I don't know. Sometimes I just get I get the feeling like I just did this live video just now, and in a weird way, it reminded me of a Beyonce verse. And one of the verses was, "He just might be a Bill Gates in the making," or "She might be a Bill Gates in the making." And then I was on a Facebook Live yesterday with Ziggy the comedian, and we were talking about, I asked him the question. I was like, well, at what age, do you know what age Bill Gates was when he started creating Microsoft? And I don't know. Do you guys know, like, what age Bill Gates began creating Microsoft? So Zig was like, why don't more kids, I think he said something to the extent of, like, why don't more of us succeed at younger ages? And then I went on to this thing, like, I told him about, anybody knows about Farrah Gray, right? Farrah Gray is a guy you can follow on Instagram. I've known of him for many years, but he made his first $1 million at the age of 14. I follow this story, and I know exactly how he did it. And I want to say this. Well, the age Bill Gates was when he started creating Microsoft was 13 years old. Bill Gates began creating Microsoft at 13. Well, you may say, well, how does that happen? I'll just say, in my opinion, how it happens. And there's some truth, and I have some research to back this up, but I'm going to still just preface it by saying, in my opinion. In my opinion, I believe that us as adults, we limit and we try to control what our children think. Don't do it that way, my nigga. Do it this way. Don't do it that way, my nigga. Do it this way. Now, listen, I'm fully aware. Trust me. Every time I open my mouth, I understand I have one of two options. I can either go for the truth, or I could go for the views. Check my track record. I've been doing this for a little under a decade consistently. I have two options every time I personally open my mouth. I'm fully conscious of it. Some people say I'm woke. Yes, I'm awake. I'm alive and well. I know I have two options every single time. It's either to give y'all the truth or to go for the views. In my own stupid way, I consistently go for the truth. Two options. I could go for the truth or I could go for the views. Every time I open my mouth. If I come publicly, if I put something out, whether if it's pre-recorded or it's live, two options. Give you the truth or go for the views. Once again, I'm going to give you the truth in this video. The truth in this video is when Beyonce says, he might be a Bill Gates in the making, she might be a Bill Gates in the making. I know the way that she was saying it, it was for adults. But it reminded me of how many people become successful at a very young age. And we're talking about Bill Gates here. Bill Gates began working on Microsoft when he was 13 freaking years old. Remember when I said, don't do it this way, my nigga. Do it this way. I don't want you to be like you. I want you to be like me. Don't be like you, my nigga. Be like me. Don't think like you, my nigga. Think like me. I'm trying to tell you guys, you may be stunting your children's growth. You might be. Because what we believe as adults is that there's a perfect way to do things. And what we don't ever realize is the only common denominator of any success is the stick-to-itiveness. Some of y'all don't even think that's a real word. Stick-to-itiveness. I'm telling you, what we really have to do for the youth is we have to teach them the principles, morals, respect, honor, dignity. But some of us, we're trying to teach our youth creativity. Listen, anybody who understands sports, and obviously we ain't talking about the NFL right now because it's NFL blackout, you know what I'm saying? Down to the socks, down to the shoes. See them Kobe's, right? Down to the shoes. It's the blackout. Why? Because I felt the need. My only mission today was to give you guys a few options on how to substitute your fun on Sundays. But let me tell you this, guys. You can't teach creativity. You can't teach stick-to-itiveness. So what I'm trying to tell you is, even if you have a Bill Gates or a Barack Obama, you got to be able to allow your child to be creative. The only things that you have to give boundaries for your youth, for the youth, is those core things to being a good person. Like I said, dignity, character, honor, respect, stick-to-itiveness, right? I don't know a simple way to say it. I mean, that verse that Beyonce said, it sounds good because it's talking to adults, but you guys know I try to squeeze the lemon out of an orange. I'm going to take that. He might be Bill Gates in the making. She might be a Bill Gates in the making. Don't think like that. Don't be like you, my nigga. People tell me that. Like, yo, don't be like you. Be like the way I want you to be. Don't do it like that. You see what I'm saying? Do it like this. And I'm telling you, that kills the stick-to-itiveness. People don't want to stick to it if you're trying to tell them how to be creative. That's including adults. So what can we learn from this? The truth is, I don't know, you take from it what you want to learn. I'm just here to tell you what I know. And what I know is Bill Gates began working on Microsoft when he was 13 years old. Warren Buffett bought his first piece of stock when he was a teenager as well. Look at it. Jay-Z from Tupac, right? Where you want to go with it? Where do you want me to go? You want me to go to these athletes? You want me to go to Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant, you know when he started? When he was 4 years old. We trying to create who people are. We can't create who somebody is. It's impossible. You can't even think about how hard it is to create your own self. You can't create something, right? You can't. It's just impossible. But what you can do is you can focus in on those core things. Right? You can focus in on those core things. I'll give you an example. I just went to Starbucks. I like Starbucks. I went to Starbucks yesterday, right? And Starbucks, you can have as much fun as you want. They got anything you could drink, from fruit drinks to water to coffee, lattes, frappuccinos, cakes and pastries. They got all of that. They got an inside, they got an outside, they got air conditioning, they got whatever you want in Starbucks. Good vibes, energy, good people, computers, MacBooks, Dells, Compacts, whatever you want is at Starbucks. Starbucks has this one rule. Starbucks has one rule. Y'all getting me frustrated. And like I said before, this is not for the freaking views. I'm giving you my truth. Starbucks has one rule. At least the ones that I go to, they have one rule. You can buy whatever you want. You can hang out there. They got outlets, chargers. They got Wi-Fi. You can even go in Starbucks and not buy nothing and just sit in there to catch a glimpse of the Wi-Fi. You can charge your phone. You can charge your computer in Starbucks. But they got one freaking rule. And I'm trying to tell you, this has everything to do with the way that we're raising our youth. Starbucks has one rule. And I'm not going to say every Starbucks, but I'm going to say that every Starbucks that I've been to, they have one rule. Do whatever you want at Starbucks. One rule. They even give you free stuff. Free water. You want free water? You hot outside? You go to Starbucks and get a cup of ice water. They give you a nice large cup of ice water. You got a dog? You don't even have to buy nothing. Just go and ask for a puppuccino or whatever it's called. It's something. They give you a treat for your dog. I'm telling you, you go and try it. Go to Starbucks and say, can I get a treat for my dog? And they'll give you the treat. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to do it. And when you do it, post it back in this comment. But even you can go to Starbucks and you can get a treat for your dog. But they have this one rule. This one rule. You talking about how Bill Gates started Microsoft when he was 13? First off, think about all the youth that are in your life. Not just your children. I'm talking about all the youth in your life because chances are you treat all children the same. You treat all youth the same. And all I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you what the one thing at Starbucks, the one rule that Starbucks has. But I want to remind you again, you can't teach a lot of the things we're trying to teach. Because there's a million ways, there's a million ways to become successful. There's only one way to not become successful. I mean, there's probably more than one, but I'm talking about to actually be successful and to remain successful. We done seen people go up here, create great success, and then they fall down. And it goes back to what I'm trying to tell you we need to focus in on. We focus in on the wrong things. And that's why when people like me give the truth, they turn a deaf ear to it. And they think it's boring. Why do your children rather listen to Lil Wayne over watching some Warren Buffett or some Martin Luther King, right? Why do they rather do that? Because we're controlling the wrong things. We're teaching the wrong things. I'm gonna give you the one thing the one rule at Starbucks. But again, I want to remind you. You want to teach your youth something. Teach them discipline. Teach them honor. Teach them dignity. Teach them honesty. Teach them what's the other ones? Character. Focus in on those, not the creativity. Don't think like me, my nigga. Don't be like you, my nigga. Don't think like you. Don't think the way you thinking. Think the way I'm thinking. I put up a post on Instagram a couple days ago. You hang around me long enough, I'll mess around and have you think for yourself. One rule at Starbucks. It's no smoking. It's no smoking. You do whatever you want at Starbucks. Like I said, they even got free stuff. You go in Starbucks, get a whole bunch of free stuff. But guess what? There's no smoking, even outside. Even outside, there's no smoking. Obviously, there's no smoking inside, but outside, there's no smoking. If you're on Starbucks premises, there's no smoking. You know how most places you got to buy something and before you can go in? You can hang out literally at Starbucks. You just can't smoke. So I'm at Starbucks yesterday recording, right? I'm recording happy hour at Starbucks on Facebook Live. Some of y'all saw it. But what I didn't show you is there was a group of people in Starbucks. I'm talking about at least 9 to 11 of them. All of them smokers. You can't even vape. You can't even vape at Starbucks. Well, you can, but you better get off our premises. It's the one rule. You think any of them is complaining? No. They abide by the rules. You let them do whatever they want, but they got to abide by these rules. And at Starbucks, you can do everything that you want, and it's free. Like I said, your phone is not charged. Get your ass into a Starbucks. Over 90% of them have outlets for you to charge your phone. You thirsty? You get some water from Starbucks for free. Your dog need a treat? Get your dog a treat for free. The environment, the atmosphere, you meet people, it's amazing at Starbucks. Coffees, fruit drinks, water, pastries, cakes, eggs, sandwiches, whatever you want at Starbucks. It's just no smoking. My assumption is Bill Gates is, whoever raised Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Tupac Shakur, Jay-Z, whoever raised these people, my guess is they taught them the things that really mattered. They let them be as creative as they wanted to. But they gave them this one thing. Now, it's a rare thing. It's a rare thing. It is. It's very rare. So what I'm asking of you, it's rare. But is it worth it? Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the try? I just want you to really think to yourself, have you been treating the youth of our country, the youth of America, have you been treating the youth of America, have you been focusing, have you been instilling in them the important things? Or are you trying to create something, like a doll? Like, oh, look at that. I want you to, Just want you to think about it. If you think about it, I mean, I served my purpose for today. Remember, I said, every time you hear me open my mouth, if you see me, you may not like how I do it, the delivery and all that, but just always know, if you see something that comes out of my mouth publicly, it's what I believe to be truth. I'm not going for the views. Remember, I can either choose truth or views. People like me, right? Influencers, right? You have two choices. And that's why people come to me, and that's why people run from me. Because I'm going to give you the truth. Alright, I got to get up out of here. Like I said before, it's hot as all hell. It's hot as hell. Right? You never know who could be the next Bill Gates. You never know who could be the next Barack Obama. You never know. You never know. But, look, challenge me on it. Start researching people. Like, research Farrah Gray's story. I mean, Farrah Gray, he's Dr. Farrah Gray now, but he made his first $1 million when he was 14 years old. How does this happen? Is this luck? No, it's not. It's freedom. Freedom of creativity within a set of rules and guidelines. Anybody can make $1 million, but can you sustain and can you keep and can you grow that $1 million and triple and double down on that $1 million and keep it? The only way you're going to keep it is if you get those core things, those dignity, honor, respect, character. You get those things, you're going to keep it a lot longer. How do they do it? They're not magic kids. They're not in this amazing environment always. Sometimes, yes, that's true. Sometimes that's true. But a majority of the time, it's the freedom of creativity. Don't be like you, my nigga. Be like me. It's your boy. Peace.
Hey, Ma! I'm on TV!